First things first, I want to show you all my sweatshirt because I'm obsessed. It says reading is my favorite sport. I don't remember the name of the shop that I got it from, but I'll try to remember to have it down below for you. If not, yell at me in the comments, okay? Because I'm obsessed, and it wasn't that expensive either, so I had to have it, even though I have about 1 million sweatshirts. When I saw this, I'm like, yeah, because it's true. It's true. Reading is the only sport that I'm good at. So here we are. Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam. In today's video, I'm going to be recommending you some backlist romance books. I have 6 books to share with you today, and pretty much all of them, I think the earliest that one was published was like 2021, I think. I typically try to go 2021 and back because I don't know, that's just a rule that I have set for myself. So yeah, I'm feeling very awkward today. I don't know why. I have started this video like 4 times. We're just gonna power through, okay? So the first book that I have, and I feel like this author, actually the first 2 authors that I'm gonna recommend, pretty much always show up on my backlist romance books because I just love them and they have such a good backlist, and I feel like people need to read them more. I mean, they need to read their new releases as well, but just like read them in general because they're so good. So we have The Anti-Boyfriend by Penelope Ward. So in this book, we are following Karis and Deacon. Karis she used to be a ballet dancer, but she hurt her ankle and she's been out for a very long time and she really misses what she does. She loved being a dancer, and now she actually works for, or she was working for, the like dance production company doing something. And that's where she met her boyfriend, who is also her baby's father. But some drama happened with him and his ex-wife, so he broke up with Karis while she was pregnant to go back to his ex-wife and the kids that they already had. And he says, I want nothing to do with you. So she is raising her daughter, Sunny, who has Down syndrome. She's raising her alone. And she's doing the best that she can, but she's struggling a little bit, you know, single mother trying to make ends meet. Now, Deacon is pretty much the opposite of Karis in every way. He seemingly doesn't have any major responsibilities other than work, and he doesn't want to settle down. He's kind of a playboy. He never really sees himself having kids. He's just not that type. That's not really what he wants for himself. And they meet because, well, they see each other in passing, obviously, because they are neighbors. And Karis has always been really attracted to him, but she sees the women coming in and out of his apartment all the time. And she's like, no, that's why she kind of calls him the anti-boyfriend, is because she says, he's everything that I need to stay away from. But they end up, their relationship sort of blossoms from a very awkward moment because their apartment, in their bedrooms, they share a wall. So she hears him one night with a woman and things get a little rowdy. And so the next time she sees him, she asks, can you maybe quiet it down a little bit? I'm already not getting a lot of sleep and now I have to hear you. So he is humiliated, very apologetic about it, and he just kind of offers to help her in any way that he can. At first, it's, you know, I'm running to the store. Do you want me to pick you up anything? You know, do you need diapers? Do you need food? What do you need? And then he starts bringing her Starbucks, and then they start having dinner together, and he helps her with Sunny when she has no one else to help her. And so these two really take the time to get to know each other and actually start a friendship before any sort of like romantic relationship comes about. And I really loved how Penelope Ward took the time to develop that friendship, and you really felt like these two are getting to know each other. They actually do know each other. They didn't really jump into things. And even when they had like a moment of weakness, they're like, I don't want this to like screw up our friendship, so let's stop this. but they just couldn't. They had so much tension, so much chemistry, and they really just, they liked each other. They fit so perfectly in each other's lives, and they felt so comfortable together. And the way that Deacon was with Sunny was absolutely adorable. The way that he loved this little girl, the way that he was so protective of this little girl, I loved it. This one is sweet, swoony. Ugh, just read this book if you have not already. And the next book that I am going to recommend is by an author you all know I love, and I feel like she shows up in every single one of these backlist romance recommendation videos, and it's for good reason, okay? Read her, please. Why has she not blown up? I will never know. Okay, Someday by Emma Scott. This is an MM romance, and we are following Max and Silas. Please check your trigger warnings for this book. Drug addiction, there's a lot of heavy topics in here, okay? A lot. So if you're sensitive to things like that, check the triggers, okay? So Max was actually kicked out of his house when he was a teenager because his dad caught him with a boy, and his dad just cannot accept that. So he throws him out when he is very young, and the things that Max is forced to do to just live is horrendous. And to kind of cope with everything that he has to do in order to live, and the fact that his parents don't want him because of who he loves, he turns to drugs, and that leads him down a very, very dark path. But he is now a nurse. He has really turned his life around, and he moves to a new city to take a new job, and he is going to AA meetings, and that is where he sees Silas. And Silas is very much ashamed of who he is. He's ashamed that he is at an AA meeting. I mean, the fact that he's there shows a lot, and that he wants to get better, but he's just, I mean, there are different reasons. He definitely comes from a high profile family. His father is the owner of a big pharmaceutical company, and he is, I believe he's the CEO or something like high up. So he really doesn't want anyone to know that he struggles with addiction. So he goes and he has his hood up and his glasses on, and Max immediately is like, I need to know more about this person. I need to sort of crack him open. And they definitely have, I wouldn't say they like hit it off immediately, but they can definitely see that there's more than meets the eye with each other. And when Max gets an opportunity to go and be an in-home nurse to a very high profile man, he takes that offer, and it just so happens that the man that he is now working for is Silas's father. And like I said, Silas is very ashamed of who he is. He's very secretive because of his family, and there's a lot of things also in Silas's past that is very heavy to read. And so the fact that Max is now in his home, in his territory, and he cannot control the, perspective of everything, it doesn't really go over well for Silas. But the way that Max is able to really break him down and show him it is okay to be yourself, it is okay to love whoever you want to love, it was beautiful. And then I'm going to recommend a series by Sam Mariano. Now, I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I have not actually finished the series out, but when I tell you I flew through books, I believe 1 through 4, and then I did read 5 later, and I think there's only 7 or 8 books. So I only have 3-ish, 2 to 3-ish books left to read. So I feel comfortable going ahead and recommending this series to you, but you have to like mafia, you have to like very messy family drama, and if you've read a Sam Mariano book, you kind of know how she plays with your head and how the heroes play with the heroine's head, okay? So the Morelli family series. The first book follows Mia and Vince, but there is definitely an overarching story. So you cannot read these out of order. You have to read them in order to get the whole picture. Because if you just pick up like book 3 or book 4, you're going to be lost. You are going to be lost and you're going to hate it. So you have to start at book 1. These are just so freaking entertaining and they're so easy to read. I don't really want to give you like too much about what they're about because frankly, it spoils a lot of it, but just know It's so good. It's good. Everyone in the Morelli family, they're morally gray, okay? Not even morally gray. Some of them are just black, okay? Once you meet Matteo, you're like, who is this man and what does he think he's doing, okay? So there's lots of characters in here, lots of things to like keep you on the edge of your seat and just keep you reading. And I believe these books were published in like 2016, which is crazy. Feels like such a long time ago, and I still don't really hear many people talking about this series at all. And even though like Sam Mariano is a pretty popular dark romance author, but I don't really hear anybody talk about this. So read these, okay? If you want to be entertained, the Morelli family series. And the next book that I'm going to recommend to you is The Consequence of Falling by Clare Contreras. In this book, we are following Presley and Nathaniel. Now, Presley and Nathaniel meet when Presley is in high school and Nathaniel is first or second year in college, and he is working as a driver for Presley's dad. Presley's dad owns a brewery. They come from a lot of money, and Nathaniel does not. He has lived with his mom, who has raised him as a single mother his whole life. He does not know who his dad is, that he, left when he was really young. So it's just been Nathaniel and his mother. And so he really looks up to Presley's father. And these two, when they meet, he is picking her up from practice from school one day, and they do not get off on the right foot. And that sort of sets the tone for their relationship for quite a few years. They end up going to the same college. They run sort of in the same circles. And there's still that bantering relationship between the two of them where it's like, okay, either you secretly love each other, like you really like each other, or you all really just like hate. But I mean, you can tell there's attraction there. The feelings they're there, okay? They just don't act on them right away, okay? So in present day, Presley is newly divorced, and she goes finally to work for her dad's company, and she's going to be opening her own like little brewery restaurant type thing. And so when she talks to her dad about this, he ends up telling her, hey, we have a new business partner. And this new business partner just so happens to be Nathaniel, who she really hasn't seen in years, okay? She's kind of avoided him. She's been married. She's been doing her own thing. And Nathaniel has built himself up, okay? He came from basically nothing, and now he is millionaire, billionaire, just very successful. And she's already like at her lowest, she's divorced, and she just feels like she's kind of tucked tail and ran back home to dad. And then, oh, now I'm going to be working for Nathaniel, who we don't get along at all. But the fact that they have to start working together, that sort of bickering turns into a very playful, flirty banter. And the tension between these two, it was so good. It was so good. Such good tension, such good chemistry. And just, I liked their relationship a lot. It was kind of frustrating though, I will say, because it was like, okay, get it together, people, please get it together. And then the relationship that they both had with Presley's father, like I said in the beginning, Nathaniel, he did not really have a father figure. And that was how Presley's dad was to him. He really took him under his wing and gave him a chance when he was young. And he's sort of been a mentor for him throughout his life. So I loved that relationship. And I also loved Presley's relationship with her dad, the way that it developed after years of her life, because seemingly they didn't really have a good relationship. But as she's gotten older and she's realized things aren't really what they seem, they now have just a beautiful relationship, and they go to baseball games together, and it was just really sweet. And I did tear up a little bit at the end because something happens and it's kind of sad, but this is good. This is really good. Now let's talk about Counts of 8 by Brynn Ford. I got this recommendation from Baron from the book Baron, so I will leave her down below. I also read the Morelli family series because of her. So if you're looking for dark romance, she's your girl, okay? Top tier dark romance recs. So this one also is the first book in a series, and I have not continued the series, but I feel confident that I will like it, okay? It's just one of those series where it's like, okay, this is gonna be really good. The setup in the first book, oh, beautiful. So we are following Anya and Ezra. Now, this is a captor romance. Usually you have captor-captive, but this is captor-captor. So Anya and Ezra are both dancers. Anya is a, classically trained ballet dancer, and Ezra is a young contemporary dancer. This is part of the Four Families series. So you have these four very wealthy families, and they all have their own sort of talents that not necessarily the family has the talent, it's them being like, okay, this is my dancer or this is my singer. And they make these people perform every year, and like they try to have the best. So Anya has been with this family, this man in particular, for quite a few years. And every year when she puts on this dance, she has a new partner come in. But for some reason, the partners really never work out. And then she doesn't know what happens to the guys after they leave. And so she's tried not to develop any sort of relationship with these men who her captor is bringing in. But that all changes when Ezra comes in. He is fighting it at every turn. He does not want to be there. He does not understand, like, why are we here? Why do we have to perform for these people? And why does he treat you this way? Because at first, like I said, Ezra is very resistant to any sort of direction that Anya is trying to give him. Anya's been there, so she knows what's going to happen if Ezra doesn't fall in line. And she knows that it's going to be her who is punished. And so when Ezra really figures that out, things change, and he tries to do whatever he can to protect her. And these two have such a beautiful and innocent relationship under these horrible circumstances. The way that they would, like I said, try and protect each other, I loved it. The things that these two had to go through together as well really brought them closer. And it's just like, I've never read a book like this before. I've never read a captor-captor romance ever. And just, I feel like I'm not even doing this book justice, because like their relationship, and it's not just the fact that they were thrown together. So it's like, oh, it's convenient for us to have a relationship. No, like you really feel that even if these two weren't in the situation that they're in, that they would have found their way to each other no matter what. The time that they would like sneak away and just steal little moments for themselves and just kind of feel like, okay, yeah, we're in this awful situation, but look at how good this is. Like just little moments to escape. It was good. It was so good, but it's a dark romance, so definitely check your triggers. Check them, okay? Because there's some graphic stuff in here, and just be safe. The last book that I have to recommend to you today is Unforgivable by Isabel Love. Now in this book, we are following Anna and Wes. Now at the beginning of this book, it starts out when Anna and Wes are very young, like in elementary school. And usually I don't like that, but this one, it didn't take too long for them to like actually get to present day. And you definitely needed that storyline to be built up. So I didn't mind it in this one. I actually really enjoyed it. Now, Wes is new to school. He's new to the town. He's living with a new foster family, and he is getting bullied at school. And that's where he meets Anna and her brother. Anna actually runs in to save him from a fight. These kids in his class are trying to jump him, all gang up on him, and Anna's like, no, we're not doing this. And so that's how he kind of gets taken under. Anna and her brother and her family's just taken under their wing. They really help him out a lot because he doesn't have any family. Like he lives with a foster family who really, like, they don't care at all. So they give him, you know, food and help him with his homework and give him clothes because he's basically wearing rags and his shoes are, you know, no soles, there's holes in them. So they really just try to take him in and give him as much like guidance and friendship as they can. Wes and Anna's brother, like I said, they become really good friends. And so he is spending a lot of time over at their house, but he also is spending a lot of time with Anna, and what is seemingly like a little, you know, girl crush, a little, you know, childhood crush on her brother's best friend really turns into more. But Wes really finds himself in some very sticky situations because he's trying to give Anna the things, like the material things that he thinks that she wants because she comes from money, but he doesn't have that. And so he gets into, like I said, some very rough situations with some rough people, and he can't get out of them. And so that leads him down a not so good path, and that I don't know. I don't want to spoil it, but something happens that tears these two apart when they are younger. And then in present day, you have Wes coming back into the family's life. And this brings up a lot of emotions for both of them because Wes, I mean, like he kind of knows a little bit about what happened between the two of them, but not entirely what went on with Anna and the kind of the decisions that she was forced to make and why she sort of is the way that she is now. And so you see these two who have these really like tragic pasts, but they're trying to come out of it and they're really working to come out of it. And so you have Anna, who really helped Wes when he was younger, and you have Wes who's still like, he's working on himself in present day, but he's really there to help Anna, and like he himself still needs help, but he wants to help Anna through the situation that she is in. And really they build such a just really good and sweet relationship off of their past, and then just wanting to do better and wanting to be better for each other. This one was really good. I've never read anything by this author. I've really never even heard of this author. And I was looking into, you know, romance books published in, I don't even know when this one was published, but I was trying to find some good backlist romance books. And so when this one popped up, I'm like, this sounds really good. And I'm really glad that I read it. And I don't even know if she's still publishing today, but yeah, this one. And okay, I will say it definitely reads like an older romance book. There's a lot of drama. Okay. It's like one thing after another, but I ate it up. Okay. Personally, I was like, yep, give me more. Give me all of the drama. I like the messiness. Okay. And it delivered. So maybe pick it up if you're looking for just drama. Okay. But it still like had a really beautiful storyline to it. Okay. It's not just drama for the sake of drama, but like it was good. Okay. The storyline was good and the characters were really good. Those are all of the recommendations that I have to share with you today. If you have made it to this point in the video and you'd like to let me know, leave me a cloud emoji in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.